Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Daily Light. Today we have an exciting talk about this new moon in Gemini that's coming tomorrow and the mutable cross, which we are in today. And this energy we're going to feel all throughout the weekend and for the upcoming weeks. It's very, very intense. But before we get into that, I'm your host, Cassandra Bodzak. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an intuitive counselor. I work with people one-on-one, and I help guide them to connect with their soul and live their most expansive lives. And one of the things I love chatting about is astrology. And many of you have probably heard this a bunch of times if you watch me a lot. But I like to say I'm not an astrologer. I am just an enthusiast of astrology. So I read a lot. I've learned a lot about it. And I like sharing my interpretations of what's going on with you guys, because what I see with my clients is that during these different times, it really does affect all of us in one way. And there's so much power in that. In one, it's I always describe it as a weather report, right? Whereas you can live your life without ever looking at the weather report, right? And, you'll still experience the rain and the snow and the sunshine and the temperature because it's going on. But if you look at the weather report, you'll be able to better navigate it. So you'll know, okay, it's going to be cold today. Let me bring an extra sweater. Oh, it's going to be hot today. I can wear a tank top, right? You'll also know on the days where it's raining that it's not just raining on you, which I think is a big part of it. I know for a lot of my clients that is really what they love, I think, most about it, is that they realize they're not alone. They love it when I usually wait until they tell me what's going on, and then I'm like, well, you will be interested to know that this is going on astrologically, and it's popping up for a lot of the people I'm working with. And we forget sometimes how powerful that is, to know that we are not alone in the experiences we're having. There's so much comfort and so much power in just that simple knowledge. So I am doing a free or donation-based, if you want to send me some love, workshop on the new moon in Gemini tomorrow morning. And I will include the link below. So if you want to sign up and join me, you can join me live at 9 a.m. Pacific time on a Google Hangout. Or you can just RSVP on the link below, and I will send you the recording when it's time. So it is... So let me dive into it. I just wanted to give you a short preview video on what's going on, and then join me for a little bit more in-depth chat tomorrow morning, or whenever you want to watch the replay, as well as a few meditations to help us, set the stage. So right now we have we're approaching a new moon in Gemini that's conjunct with Venus, planet of love and partnerships and projects. And we're also in a mutable cross, which is all of the mutable signs, right? And so it's like this energetic explosion that's going on. And a lot of you may have already started feeling it. I know I started feeling it a couple days ago, but it's going to intensify over the weekend, and it's going to probably go way into next week. You're going and beyond. You'll be feeling kind of the repercussions of both of these for a while. Because what's going on with this mutable cross is it's ending a lot of karmic cycles in your relationships and in your projects. So it could be perhaps work projects that you're doing, or it could be relationships. So you want to look back maybe to 4 years ago in 2012 in June and see, maybe what kind of relationship situation you were in, what kind of decisions you were making in relationships, how you were being in relationship, and also project-wise, maybe what kind of projects you were taking on. A lot of that is going to come to completion right now, which is really good. It's good, but it can be a bit of work, and it can be a bit intense, depending on what's going on for you. But just notice if you start really connecting the dots between now and about 4 years ago, you're going to probably have some like, what? Moments. And just And so, yeah, it's a lot of that's around the decisions you're going to make and really kind of completing that cycle and really stepping into this new version of you, this, you 2.0, which is a lot of what's going on right now. Right now, you have a big decision to make, and you can feel like a lot of us right now are feeling like we're on unsteady ground. I know I certainly have been, and I've seen this with, a few of my clients here in this place of kind of being in between, and, almost like nothing is certain. And that's okay. And part of this is like a training ground. It's to be able to be in that space and nothing being certain, and to really be in the flow of it, even though nothing's certain, and to really trust, and to ask yourself some questions, and to really decide which path you want to take right now. And adulting is a theme that's coming up. So, really having to, we have Saturn also at play, and Saturn is always, whenever Saturn, it's like this energy of do your homework, but if you do your homework, you're going to get rewarded. So, a lot of people don't like Saturn energy. I'm cool with Saturn energy. It's okay. The way I see that is like, hey, if you put in the time, if you put in the effort on this, you will see an outcome for it, It's not up in the air, but it's just a matter of you actually putting in the work. So that energy is at play, and a lot of that ends up with us feeling like, okay, we have to adult now. And maybe this connects back to the relationship situations that were going on. And saying, okay, what are decisions I was making 4 years ago that, like, maybe I need to put my big girl panties on right now and start making smart decisions based on what really feels good to my soul, based on the astrologer I was watching. And I have a few, and I'll link them below because I always like to show you those videos as well. David, he was talking a bit about the root chakra. And I think it's really interesting because when you have this energy of, nothing being certain, and the relationships floating around, and this adulting and having to make a big decision, this root chakra energy is really important because it's like this carnal energy. It's like your animal instincts. It's like, where do you really feel drawn to go? Listen to it. I just posted something today, an Abraham Hicks quote on Instagram, because I'm really feeling that in this energy of, follow your fun. And it's something, I forgot the exact quote. Go to my Instagram if you want to see the exact quote. But it's something about following your fun, right? And the thing is, that's how we know the path we're supposed to go on. The path we're supposed to go on, we will feel these deep desires for. We will feel this energy of fun and enjoyment, and there'll be, this isn't a time of not doing work. This isn't a time of like sitting back and just, whatever, la-di-da, I want all these things to happen. I'm just going to like sit back and, see if anybody does anything. No, this is a time of saying, okay, I want X and Y to happen, and, what do I need to do? It's a time of showing up, and especially showing up to those intuitive nudges we're getting. And intuitive nudges I talk about in, probably another video, but they come in all different forms. So for me, sometimes it's almost like little whispers in the ear. Like I'll just get an idea. I'll be brushing my teeth and I'll be like, email so-and-so. And I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. All right, why don't I email so-and-so? And, but for others, or also it can be something like just following your joy. So for instance, like with this video and with this workshop, I just was like, what? I light up around these moon transits. I love it. I watch all the videos. I read all the articles. I spend like hours just reading everything, and that's why I love sharing it with you guys and, what I've kind of processed and what it means to me, because I know if you're not really deep into astrology that reading some of the things and kind of go like, woof. So I try to just break it down for like what I'm seeing and how I feel about it. And it just excites me. It's something that like I talk about with all my clients. I talk about with all my friends. I love just accessing the knowledge of. So that was a big hint, right? The joy I have around it, the love I have around it, the play I have around it, the way I just naturally gravitate towards it was like, yeah, you should offer this free workshop. And you know what? I did it for free because I just had a workshop. So I wasn't even planning on having another workshop. And I was like, well, you know what? If I'm going to do it, why don't I just offer it donation based and let people pay what they want and just, put it out there because, hey, I love talking about the new moon. This is the most potent one. The mutable cross and the new moon in Gemini is one of the top energetically packed astrological events of this year. So of course I wanted to share with you guys and invite you to a meditation workshop on it. So that in of itself can be some intuitive guidance during this time. Is really thinking, okay, well, what feels fun? What do I feel naturally drawn to? All right. Yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Okay, yeah. So one other note. So there's Pisces at play too, which I'm a Pisces, for those of you who know. And the thing about Pisces is Pisces can go into fantasy land. But fantasy land can be a fun place to go. But it's, again, getting honest with yourself and seeing, are these fantasies things that you actually want to or can turn into reality? Or are we using these fantasies as like a mode of escapism from what's really happening? And again, kind of peeling back those fantasies, and it's the energy of that, like daydreaming, is not necessarily bad. It just depends, again, the way you're using it. So really being conscious of the areas where you might be in illusion about some things, where you might be daydreaming about something. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe you're in an illusion about a relationship you're in right now because you think, you've kind of created this fake image of what it is and you're not facing the reality of how that person is showing up for you. You're not facing the reality of what that relationship actually is. How often, you hear people fall in love with the idea of someone and then hang on to that idea throughout the relationship instead of actually seeing who the person in front of them is. So I think with all this relationship going on, that's going to be a big theme that you're going to see pop up in your romantic relationships, and some big karmic turning points because of it, because you're going to be forced in a way to lift up that veil, to peel that illusion away and make a real decision about what's going on and where you want to step forth and where you're using your energy. And the same thing with projects, were you in love with the idea of a certain project, but you weren't really in love with the actuality of it? And again, peeling back that illusion and saying like, okay, is that a dream that I'm going to work and create? Or is that, me kind of being in love with an idea and not being present to the reality and the actuality of what's going on right now? So lots of big things happening, and I'm so excited to see what this brings. Share with me below what's coming up for you. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer. And of course, I'm going to include the link below to the workshop so you guys can check that out. And I know this is a really heavy time and lots of things are going on. So if you want a one-on-one session with me, feel free to check the link below about coaching and send me an email and we'll schedule something, and I would be delighted to help guide you through this. And it's amazing. This is going to be a crazy, exciting, but amazing time, and we're all gonna get through it together. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow at the workshop. Bye.